Uh, well, how's it gone being the full time defense coordinator for a little bit now?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been kind of a whirlwind a little bit. You know, timing is never great or never ideal ever during this business. Or so you just kind of get thrown into it and you just start scrambling and you go from there. And it feels like we've been scrambling since. And but we got a good plan and we're in a good place going into the spring.
Being co-defensive coordinator
Mhm.
last season, how much did that step prepare you for now taking it on full time?
Well, that's a great question. I think it helped me tremendously, and the reason I say that is because, last year was such a group effort, and Coach Daly certainly was at the forefront and did some amazing things. Did a great job, um, but he involved everybody, and he really, he really leaned on all of us and kind of let us be experts in our field, and that's kind of the same way I'm approaching it, the same way I've always believed, is let everybody be the head coach of their room, and I'm kind of the guy that organizes it, and so last year was a good step in the direction to taking it over, and then kind of going with the same approach.
You kind of taking a step away from D line with that stepping in there.
Yeah,
How ready is he for that?
he ready. I tell you, Coach Bapp is the best D line coach in this building. I tell you, when I listen to Coach Bapp talk D line to those kids, those players, I'm just like listening, almost like listening to myself talk. I mean, we're so much on the same page, and Bapp brings just a tremendous amount of experience. He's played at every level, he's coached at every level. And so at the end of the day, I mean, it's Bapp's time and it should be. And I was glad I could get out of the way and so he could take that on and we could keep such a good coach like Coach Bapp here. Now, I'll never go too far away from the D line room, just so you know. You probably see me over there a little bit. All right.
Sure. And
Yeah.
just some other guys kind of shuffling around, Shep and Jody. What are you looking at?
Yeah.
What have you seen out of those guys so far?
Unbelievable coaches. Just, I feel so fortunate that I get to work with these guys. Um, Coach Shep is this guy whose role has improved every single year he's been here, and he's just gotten better and better as a coach. And be honest with you, we've looked up and a lot of the success we had in the back end last year was because of things Coach Shep brought to the table. So when Coach and me talked about this opportunity, we talked about let's emphasize Coach Shep's role. Let's put him in with the safeties and nickels, and let's give him a bigger role, a bigger piece of the puzzle. And Shep has never let us down here. And so he's the same thing he always does. He's taken the new role and he's running with it. And he's doing great. And then Coach Owens, how many times can you say, hey, we're losing an All American, we're losing a Hall of Famer and a great Bobcat, and then turn around and replace him with another one? And that's what we did. It's really unique. But with Jody, I mean, you talk about a guy who when I listen to him talk about linebacker play, I see it so much the same way. And I just love his passion that he brings not only to defense and linebacker position, but the Bobcats and how much this place means to him, how much, this position at this place means to him. And that was another thing asking coaches, can we go to put Jody in that room? Because I just felt like if we had those two pieces in those two places, we'd be in a really good spot.
The returning players,
Yeah.
how fast in your perspective move on from everything that's happened?
I think the players are always more resilient than the coaches. I would say this. I would say it probably left everybody in this building with a chip on their shoulder. And then we've lost a lot of guys, right? And we've lost a great one of the all-time great Bobcats as the D coordinator. So we've heard a lot about what we've lost, and I think the guys in this building are kind of like, okay, well, we still got a lot of good football players here. And the way Coach Vegan runs this program, we're constantly developing guys. We'll be two spotting today at practice. When we've had fortunate success get up on people in games, we've put some other players in. Some of these guys you look at that aren't household names have played a couple hundred reps for us, meaningful time. And what I would say is everybody's kind of come out of this like, hey, look, let's not talk about who's not here. Let's talk about who's here, and let's make sure that they understand that this is a group that wants to be taken serious. They're going to work their butts off, and they're going to have a chip on their shoulder while they do it, because we really want to be an elite defense. And I feel like, if we have a good spring and a good camp, we can be.
Being the only remaining member of the OG staff
Yeah.
for Vegan's first year, I guess what has this place meant to you and working under Coach Vegan?
Well, you're definitely getting me on that one because I love this place. I mean, I've been all over the country. I've been fortunate to coach at a bunch of different levels, and I will tell you this place, Montana State, is special, and it means a lot to me. And I love being here. I love the fans. I love the players that I coach. I love the parents. I mean, of the players I coach, the coaches we've had here. I mean, this place means a lot, and the way this place operates, from the president to the AD to the head coach, is first class. Every single day I wake up, and I'm so thankful I have this job. Um, and so, being here, as good as any place I've ever been, it's special to me. And then with Coach Viggs, it's really simple. Everybody that was coached for Coach Viggs will tell you they love working for the man. And I'm going to tell you right now, I believe in Coach Viggs. He's an unbelievable coach. I don't think people even sometimes give him as much credit as he's one of these rare coaches, and I've been around some of these elite coaches, but this guy really knows both sides of the ball. And on top of that, he's a pleasure to work for. He's a great guy. He's got everybody's best interests at heart. I truly believe in Coach Vegan, and I want to be attached to Coach Vegan as long as I possibly can. And so I'm very fortunate to still be here.
Yeah, and then switching gears a little bit, will you stay on the field or will you be able to move this year?
You know, that's funny. Like everybody, I got that question about 500 times in my first 2 days. And I'm like, I have got a million things to worry about before that. But that's the question, right? Everybody's asked that. And I think, for the fan base, they probably like to see the chubby redhead upstairs so that we can get that out of sight and out of mind. But I'll be probably right there on the field. We've got the iPad now, so the advantage of going upstairs is kind of diminished a little bit because you're always just a couple plays away from being able to see the whole picture from every angle. And I have a better feel on the field. Last time around that I was a coordinator, I tried both, and I just had a way better feel on the field for the game. And you could obviously see more up there, which now that we've got the technology doesn't quite mean as much. So yeah, I'll be down on the field for you.
You mentioned that time as a coordinator when you were at Utah Tech. Are you possibly taking some time what you learned while you were at Utah Tech and trying to apply it as for here?
Yeah, well, I think first off, anytime you do this job, you learn lessons along the way. And so a lot of those hard lessons maybe that I learned at Utah Tech, those taught me and brought me to the point I'm at in my career now. But I would say schematically will be probably a lot closer version of what you saw last year than my time at Utah Tech. Yeah, that's a great question.
How much are you drawing off of, or you guys as a whole, drawing from the 2022 off season or post 21, and then last off season too, with losing a couple coordinators, just these last off seasons where you lost a lot of guys and
Sure.
replenish?
Well, I think that's what I'm saying. I think the biggest part of that is one, we're returning the majority of the staff. We're losing Coach Daly, which is a huge loss. All right, because not only is he a great coach, he's one of the greatest Bobcats of all time. But really, outside of that, we're returning really the whole staff, and so we feel like we've got some continuity. We feel like we've got a good idea of where we want this thing to go, where we've seen it going this year, and how we can make it better. So that part's not as huge of a change. But the other thing, like I said, that I think we take care of that with is that we're a developmental program. And so, these guys haven't been sitting out here watching these guys that just left our program play football. These guys have been working every day at their craft too. Whether it's in the weight room, it's on the practice field, or even in games. Like I said, we've gotten guys that have played a couple hundred reps for us that are really not household names here, and soon will be. So we kind of feel like the way that Coach Vegan runs the program and the continuity we already had with that staff, we kind of feel like we're in a decent spot for them.
Yeah, just how valuable were those second halves of most of these games with those 2s and 3s to play and playing into January with those 2s and 3s
That's
getting
great.
reps?
Yeah.
With the
That's a great point. So number one, okay, and that's why Coach Viggs, I mean, you'll see him walk down the sideline and flip his thing down. We get up on somebody, he wants to start, not just protecting guys, but we want to start developing other guys, because the best thing you can do for somebody's development is give them game reps. And so we're very conscientious to that. So that was huge. And we got lucky. We had some success. And so we got into some games where we could really play some guys. That was huge for us. And then the second part is anytime you get to play that late and then you make it to that final game, really it's just you and one other team getting to practice for almost another 3 weeks, more than everybody else in the country. But, getting to make a long run like that, you just keep getting to develop guys and then playing them in those games we got up. That was big too.
We'll talk to the continuity, but adding Trenton and that cornerback room, how's he kind of meshed?
Trenton is unbelievable. He is a unbelievable. Uh, I don't even want to say young coach because he's young in a sense that he hasn't ran his own room as long as maybe some of the other guys in the room. But man, he has been around and he has some real pedigree. I'll tell you, it was a real tough task. We had to get on and interview some DB coaches, and we really had some applicants. And what I'll tell you about Trent, he was electric. I mean, it was almost just watching him, just thinking to myself, man, that guy could not probably do much better than he did. He could probably not be much more knowledgeable than he shows a true concern for his players. He's not a guy who wants to just get his next job. He really wants to do a great job. And that all shined through in that interview process. And I'm telling you, we're very, very lucky to have hired somebody as good as Trent. Well, I don't call him Trenton. We call him Trent. So, but that's a coach you guys are going to be, you're going to be extremely fired up. And you guys will be out there to watch him work. He's unbelievable. A great hire by Coach Viggs.